I know I should be saying good morning and hi and happy who whatever. There's nobody in the room. It's okay. I'll edit this out later. But I know I should be
Yeah.
saying good morning and hi. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Hmm, mm, 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 mm. So I'm gonna explain this story that I've been going through with KuCoin. I'm sorry, Voyager. So in Voyager, I've been having quite the issue. Um, I have been trying to get my money back. You'll have to excuse me. I'm trying to do a few things at once while I'm setting up the broadcast. So I apologize. Um, okay. Um, so so with Voyager, um, Voyager decided 2 months ago that I was no longer allowed to remove. Um, I was no longer allowed to withdraw USD, and I was no longer allowed to send coin from A to B. Well, as a day trader, that really puts a big hamper on the whole thing. I need access to my funds. So I contacted them a couple months ago, and I still have not heard anything. Well, I thought I would just like kind of oddly like shake things up a little bit, kind of, and just like do random things through the settings or something, just to like since I couldn't do anything else, just to like kind of mess with the system. So what I did was I added my wife's bank account. Well, next thing I know, I get a message, I think the next day, and the message is like, hey, that's not your bank account. You can't add it. So for 2 months, me not having access to my account, I had access. I could buy, I could trade, but I couldn't withdraw and I couldn't transfer. So eventually, they got in touch with me because I added my wife's bank account. Cool, it's awesome. I start talking to a guy and I'm like, listen, please, can you please help me get my account back? Well, it's been a couple days now and they still cannot fix it, but they just assured me that yes, it is not something I did, it is something on their side. Apparently they're sending it all the way up their tech ladder, and hopefully I get that fixed because I have quite a few bucks um, in there, and I got to trade. I mean, that's part of how I make my living. So since we're waiting, it is 10:30 now, which means I will begin soon. Um, since we're waiting, I figured I would tell you that lovely story. I can't wait to get my coin back though. On the screen, you can see we are in the Kucoin Futures area. Okay, Kucoin Futures is a great way, especially if you do charts, to get breakouts, get control of them, and ride profit north or south. So I'm just going to give you an example. This is my actual KuCoin account, and if I find something worth trading, I'm going to trade it today, and we're going to chart at the same time. So I'm basically going to give you guys like a outline so you can see what I do. Like if I'm so good, what am I doing all day? Well, I'm going to show you how I do it. I don't always succeed. I definitely have bad days, and if you're a trader that doesn't have bad days, I mean, then something doesn't make sense because you're gonna have bad days. So I'm gonna say hi to chat, and nobody's here to hang out with me. No big deal. These get recorded, so if people do come, great. If not, yeah, it is what it is. So the first thing I'm doing now is I am going to try to find something that we can scalp this morning, okay? It would be better if I had like other guys with me. It's better with a team when you do this stuff to identify. But to be perfectly honest, not a deal breaker. I've been doing it myself for a long time. And hopefully this is something that hopefully we have something successful today. I only have $220. Last month I put out thousands to Metrics, my favorite coin, and now my other account is locked, so I'm dealing with a small account, which is great because if you're dealing with only $100, $200, you can use these systems to generate profits fast. The downside is you can lose them very fast as well. So how do we pick and choose what we're going to try to profit on? Let's go. So the first thing we have to do is we are going to start searching for what we want to long or short. Okay? So we're going to go out a little bit further. I know I can add. I know I can do. I want hours. I actually want like 8 hours. So the reason I have to do something like that is because I have a split screen going today. As you can see, this is my actual Kucoin account. Okay, and right now we're on Solana. Now, last night, a friend of mine and myself, we did pretty well trading Solana on futures. And now there's a video that we made last night explaining that. So today, we're going to just start charting. Like this is it. I think a lot of people find it boring. I totally understand that. For me, it's exciting. It's like putting together a puzzle. And if you figure out the puzzle right, you make money. How cool is that? So for me, it's kind of like playing a game, and I'm a huge gamer. So yeah, let's chart Chiliz, CHZ. Okay, now this is the perp future stuff that we're charting. That's different from what would be probably the normal CHZ. So when you are looking for this stuff to chart and trade, you are definitely going to want to find the futures version, which usually has perp. So I'm going to show you the other ones. Actually, it should already be up, so check it out. See all these? See all they have perp next to it? So when you're looking for it, okay, let's look for some kind of perp. You can actually, I'm pretty sure, just put perp. I've done it before. It's probably, nah, whatever. So you could do BTC, perp, and there it is. So you type in your symbol, perp after it, and usually you can find it. And we are doing Kucoin today, Kucoin stuff. All right. So this is actually something that could be interesting. So what we're going to do, we draw our triangle pattern. Okay, remember, we take our lines, we have our uptrend, we have our downtrend. This has no up or downtrend. Okay, all it is this is pretty symmetrical triangle. So all we're going to do, what the idea is now, sorry, I'll be right back. A little bit warm in my room from mining all day, and that's my AC, my personal AC, because I'm a hot boy. All right, so what the idea is now, and we're going to place our alarms. Okay, if we go here, or if we go here. Now, I've explained this before. The Kucoin alarms, the Trading View alarm system, it's great. It works great. If you have these watch lists set up for your coin, then you should be able to get into Trading View and you can look, you can find certain times that you want to be alerted about a price. Mine are on 24/7. I have my volume up when I go to sleep. And if the alarm goes off on my computer, I jump up out of bed like I'm a friggin' fireman going to a call, and I come right to the computer and I figure out what is it? Where's, what's going on with that? What is moving? Which coin? The whole nine. And then I usually trade it. I will just stay awake and trade it. So now and we have this nice triangle, meaning there could be a breakout both ways. Lucky for us on Kucoin Futures, you can trade both ways. So you can go long or short. Now there is a heavy leverage system. Some of this stuff goes up to 100x. If you are new to this, do not go beyond 5x. Okay? What happens is once it reaches a certain point, your security gets liquidated and you lose the whole thing. So if you had 100 in there and you get to a liquidation point, the liquidation point gets higher the higher your leverage. So if you have 100 in there and and it goes down to a certain point, but you've got it at like 20x. So let's say you've only lost $10. Well, KuCoin will liquidate the entire thing. Got it? So it's really important to make sure you understand and know the risk involved with this stuff. I don't recommend going over 1x. If you've never done it, just don't go over 1x. There's no reason. Okay, that being said, we're going to just keep searching. Okay, so again, we're just drawing lines. A lot of people find this real boring. I never thought it was interesting at first. I mean, what is interesting about it? You're just kind of looking at a graph. It's information. It's just price information. Well, apparently they figured out some systems that absolutely do work, and I'm sharing that with you. I'm sharing with you guys what it is that I do to maybe help you. This is not financial advice, by the way. This is for entertainment purposes only, and it's just showing you guys what I do and how I perform with the market. So, which one were we just on? Okay, so this is also something we could check out. So it looks like we've got another really nice triangle. By the way, a lot of these are going to look similar. Okay, it's just the way it is. A lot of them follow BTC, and a lot of their patterns are going to be very similar. So we might not be showing you. You might not get like the whole gambit of different types of patterns and stuff, but you definitely will get to see triangles, flags, flagpoles, and pennants, and we're going to draw them all in so that you can learn how to draw them too and check this stuff out. Now, this is absolutely something we're going to look at. Okay, if price hits there, or if price hits there, we will get alerted. The system will go off, and hopefully it's not too loud. It can be annoying. I apologize, and I feel bad for my neighbors because I keep it loud, and when it goes off, it kind of sounds like a smoke detector or something. But hey, I got to get up and check on my stuff. All right, let's keep going. It'd be cool if we can find something that looks like it's in an active breakout and then jump on that. Now, a friend of me and a friend last night, we made $150 together. He made 100, I made 50, but he's actually one of the first people that I've been able to find that does this with me. So if you're willing to do this more, come to the Conquering Crypto group. We can do this as a team. Okay, it's a whole lot easier when you have different people giving you different information or looking at different things, and you get different opinions. It's just very helpful. So again, we're really just putting out lines, trend lines. Sorry if it's boring. This is it. This is part of what you're going to have to do if you want to do this. Oh no, that's a little bit different. So this is Luna. Okay, so that could be interesting. As I said last night, to draw your lines, imagine your lines falling from a certain part of the screen. And as it's falling, so I'm just going to draw this at random, okay? As it's falling, where would be the first point that it hits? Okay, so there it hits the bottom. I'm going to grab the top, and I'm going to put it to the other highest point. And from there, we're just going to do a little bit more adjusting. And there we go. So this looks more like a tunnel pattern. You can have several patterns on top of each other. You can have several trends on top of each other, okay? So don't think I've only got one pattern. This is all there. No, you can literally have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 patterns on top of each other. I don't want to go too much into it, but I also use what's called volume profile or VPVR. On the left side over here, this is telling me where the coin was bought at a certain price. The reason that is important is because you can then see how the coin is going to kind of move. So the bigger the green bar is that means incoming buys. The bigger the red bar is incoming sells. The reason that's important is like yesterday with Solana, it was all green at the top. Okay, so the VPVR told me everything was green, which means that those are buys. we got to a certain point where red started to bleed in, and that's when we moved up our stop losses. We made our money. But the point is you can track that on TradingView. You have to pay for it. You have to be like a pro member or whatever. So it isn't like you get it for free, and they do that because they know it's a powerful tool. So didn't want to deviate too much, but on this now, it also, the VPVR will give you natural support and res lines. So see all these buys being done in here. This is just a quick example, but you can now use this as an unofficial oh, I made it virtually the same color as the other thing. That's not going to be too helpful, is it? Let's go with red. Okay, so basically I know that this red line is the highest point for buys and sells. Okay, so if I wanted to later on, I can now use that as a zone. Either that it's going to bounce off of or something I want it to break through. But the point is that VPVR is so helpful and is necessary for me when I trade. We're going to move on from Luna. It definitely has a solid tunnel. This is something that we can check out later. I'm not going to write alarms for this because an alarm system for this wouldn't work too well. The other thing you can do, this is important and I want to mention this now, is futures you can make quick money fast, right? So if it's going to head in one direction fast and you kind of have an idea of that, you can jump on a higher leverage point 10 times, 20 times and make a larger amount of money fast. Why is that important with what we're doing? So look, okay, it's fair to say that the top here is resistance. It's fair, or a resistance area. And it's fair to say that this bottom trend line is a support area. What we can do, if we know that it's going to bounce in and out, we can place our put here. Like if we know it's hitting the top and it's meeting that resistance and not pushing through, put a short on. Once you put the short on, if it falls, you're in business. You're making a few bucks. And you know that you can sell when it hits the other resistance line. So then what do you do after that? Well, once it hits the support line, place a long order. Because where do you think it's going? Well, hypothetically, you want it to go up. So you think it's going to go up. If you place that order at the bottom, a new buy, a long instead of a short, meaning if it goes up, you make money. Well, look what would have happened. Okay, goes up, and you can tap out of this, whenever you want, whatever you're happy with. If you make 10 bucks, 20 bucks, don't let anybody tell you that greed is important and you need to make 100, 200, 300. Make what you're comfortable with and do it in small increments and do it multiple times a day. And guess what? If you make $20 5 times a day, you've made 100 bucks. So don't put out as much risk. Put out less risk. Make smaller increments. Okay. When get all of those wins under your belt, and you're going to have larger amounts that you've collected. Okay. The video is getting to be 18-20 minutes. I've been wanting to keep them under half an hour. I'm sure they're not like overly exciting, but just bear with me because there's just so much to do and I'm trying to explain this. So here's an example. We see this messing around. Now, I would never place an order while it's in the middle, but if this decides to hit either the top or the bottom anytime soon or at some point or whatever, then we are going to try to maybe trade it. Because usually if you can see something, this is considered to be consolidation, tunnel consolidation. If you can see the wave and you can see it's not breaking out, then ride the wave, right? That's what's nice about Kucoin Futures. You can do that, and you can do it in multiplying. So you can make a quick 50 to 100 in just 10 minutes. You can also lose it. And so you have to make sure you really know what you're doing with this stuff. And that's what I'm here to help with. Okay, so Matic has a nice little, let's see, nice little uptrend. That uptrend has been going on since closer to the end of July. So I do a lot with dates now too. You can see dates at the bottom of the screen, and those dates correlate with price above it. So this tells me that the start of this uptrend happened in July, which means if it's still going, that's pretty strong. So it looks like we have another type of triangle. It looks like we actually might have a few different patterns going on here. Let's go out a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to consider this to be, this can be our secondary, while this, let's see, yeah, that's fine. So we have a multiple member pattern on pattern. There's absolutely nothing wrong with having pattern on pattern. We have another triangle. Oh, crazy, right? Who would have thunk it? So what do we do with this again? Do we remember? We set our alarms outside the area of consolidation. Oh no, they're gonna do this again. I have so many, apparently I have so many of these set up, there's so many alarms that they only allow me to use so many. So I think I get like 20 or 30. So I literally do not have, I literally do not have enough, and I don't feel like paying the extra. So for now, no big deal. I'm not going to worry about it. That's just something we're going to have to come back to. Okay, I'm actually going to write that down. Come back to Matic. Stay with me. So Matic is something I definitely want to come back and check because we have patterns that are looking good. Okay, let's keep going. Now, BTC and Ethereum are also on here. Let's give them a peek. Okay, this is BTC's version. Bitcoin and Ethereum, as I'm sure you guys know, have been having a wild ride. They finally made it over. They finally made it over 65K or something, and now it's been bouncing back and forth. As a matter of fact, if you guys don't mind, let's go take a look. See how much charting is going on? Charting things nonstop. So, okay. So we have BTC has right now fallen through the most recent support line. I did make it support. So this was resistance. It passed through. That means it now becomes support. If it passes underneath that, then it's broken again, and we have to kind of retest or reset. So right now, as you can see, it hasn't fallen through this secondary trend, which means we're still safe. We're still on an uptrend. So it's just something we're going to keep an eye on. Okay. Now this is the perp version, which is just a little bit different. By the way, you're going to get different prices on different exchanges. You're going to get different prices all over the place for different reasons. Yeah, just don't forget that. So if you ever look at something and say, oh, well, this chart says this was the all-time high and it's 64,380, but this other one says that it's 6580, they're both right. Like I don't know if there's an official way to tell what it was. Maybe go to Coin Market Cap or something, but I just use whatever one chart gives you. It's relatively close enough to what other charts will give you. We're in the 8 hour. We're going to chart this a little bit more. Okay, now look what we can do. Look what we can do here. I don't think I have enough faith to place an order, but look what we're doing. We bounced, bounced, bounced again, hit the top again. 2 up top, 2 up bottom. What does that mean? Anybody? That means it's probably going to fall again. We could. It's possible. Actually, I might want to check that out. What we could do here, just to show you, is right now I could go into my orders. I could find. So we're on BTC perp. And I could place, so I've only got 225 to play with. which of course it's not a lot. I'm typically used to using 500, 1,000, whatever. That's typical. If you only have 100, with this kind of information and what you can do, you can turn that 100 into thousands. I turned $10 into $1,000 several months ago. You can do the same, but it just takes time and really making sure you know what you're doing with this stuff. And I'm not to say I'm some expert, but I definitely have made money. So, all right. So now we wait. There's really nothing else we can do. This is something else that if I wanted to, so what I would do is I would put the leverage that I want. Okay, for you guys, definitely don't go over 5x. I deal between 5 and 20 typically. So let's go 10. Let's say I only want to put 100, and let's do. Should I do it? Should I do it, guys? Should I do it? Actually, I just might. I honestly want to see what other kind of information I'm getting. So see, that's a bear, almost a bear hammer, kind of. I'm not extremely good with candles. I'm getting better. Candles is something I'm also learning. Candles also give you an idea of like what's coming ahead. They're like a nice little indicator of like what's going to happen. Now you see how sellers already picked this up a little bit, which means it didn't fall. So for right now, we're just going to wait and watch. I'm definitely not going in on that. But that's an example of, oh, look, I'm at the top of a consolidation channel. If it hits upper or bottom, I know, hypothetically it's supposed to go the other way. So whoop, let it bounce off. There you go. You can now place your order on those points. So I would normally, if I was like really worried about it, this would be an order. I would put the amount I want, get the leverage I want, and then click short because that means it's going bear, down. Okay. So then if it reaches certain percentages, pull out. Okay. You can close the order, all good. And then you can see your earnings and make your money. Let's see. So that's something so BTC is definitely, since I can't write, I love it. I can't put any more alarms because I've got too many out. So I might have to upgrade my account, but whatever. Let's go check out Ethereum. We mentioned Ethereum, right? Apparently there was some crazy fall this morning that I didn't see, that somebody alerted me about. And yeah, on one of the exchanges, it went down like BTC went down like 20 or 30,000 for a second and then picked back up. That's what I mean. Different exchanges can give you different info. Okay. Ethereum. All right. So this could be our primary. We can do something like this as our secondary. Remember, it's all up to you. This is no way is this a perfect science. Everything you do with this stuff is up to you. Now, again, this is, of course, I'm sure you know and understand that BTC is the master node, okay? So BTC is the most important for crypto. All other coins, meme coins, crap coins, Cardano, regular coins, everything follows Bitcoin, including Ethereum. So you're going to see a lot of pattern matching when it comes to Bitcoin. So in other words, they have their own movement, and then BTC gets added on top of that from its movement. So it's a combination of its own movement and what the market is reacting to on Bitcoin. Got me? All right, so here we go. We have another situation where we're looking at this is, I forget what kind of triangle this is called. I'm sorry. I was really bad in math. I know this has a specific name. So this, when it's solid on one side, I probably won't find it. We're just going to have to call it a triangle. Yeah, they're just calling it triangle. I know it has a specific name when one part is flat. Maybe somebody could help me with that in the comments or something, but whatever. Okay, so it's at the top. This is a pattern, and this is all consolidation. It's at the top. We could also place a put here. We might not want to. We could, but this is the reason why we might not, is because we have this is a small trend line here, okay, because that trend line is still going up, this chart, I'm sorry, this price might bounce off of something that has to do with that trend. So whenever these things aren't 100% purely concise, whenever I can't say for sure, this is a pattern, 100%, and other people would be able to see that that is clearly a triangle, that is clearly a pennant, that is clearly a tunnel. If I can't see it 100% clearly, I don't trade it. It's that simple. I'm not willing to put my real money out on something that I'm not 100% sure will be, is the type of pattern that I can trade. So right now, there's too many things going against it. It's a good candidate. We'll come back to it. So Ethereum is something we're going to check out in a bit. What I think I might do is I might take a break here since we're already getting at the half an hour area. Sorry if this is long. But yeah, what we'll do is I'm going to take like a 10-15 minute break and we will come back for a part 2 of Day Trading Live. So thank you for joining me now, and we will be back. The time is almost 11, anywhere between 11:15 and 11:30. Come and find us at Conquering Crypto on Facebook. Everybody gets approved. I've also got a tip out area. I have a Venmo if you want to tip me, toss me a buck. I've got a Twitter. Again, the Facebook is Conquering Crypto. And yes, we will see you in just a little bit. I had a few people in here join me today, and thank you for that. Come on back. I will be back on in about 15 minutes to a half an hour, all right? So I will see you guys shortly.